All right, I just want to take a quick look at this Chapter 4 homework. You should be able to do Chapter 4 quiz on your own. But again, when you take these quizzes, it's 2 times through. So I would advise you to print out the quiz, which you can do the first time you take it, and then check back with a textbook to be prepared for the second and last time you take the quiz. So you can do well. If not, do what you got to do well. So here I'm going to take a quick look at this Chapter 4 homework. And again, if you look at the textbook, all these answers are quickly in the textbook. And again, here looking at the elasticity, right? This is what you're going to have to do for the midterm. You're going to have to figure out this elasticity, the coefficient of demand. So again, here, again, print this thing out too and use it before the midterm to be prepared. So to compute the price elasticity demand, of course, we divide the quantity demanded, let me check, by the percent change in price, quantity divided by price. Again, new minus old quantity divided by new minus old divided by old in price, right? So there'll be a couple of questions on that coming up. Yep, I'm good. Let's go on to number 2. What is number 2? Yeah. Oh, I forgot to do something else. There was another question there. To the absolute. You got to use the absolute value, just like the Excel file uses the absolute function you should have in there. So again, there's a 10% decrease in prices, increases the quantity by 34%. So here they've done the new minus old divided by old, right? So you take 34% of the quantity divided by the 10% here and put in the number here. It's not that hard. You can do that math. Let's see here, the price, here's where you got to do the math. Again, this is what the question on the midterm is going to be. So I got to print this thing out and be prepared for the math. It's not that hard, right? I don't think anyway, but it's easy for me. When the price of the CD increases from 20 to 25, so again, $25 is the new. Sometimes it's hard for people to figure out the new and the old, right? So when you get the test, write new and old above the numbers, right? From 25, that's the old, to 25. Dollars, that's the new. So again, 25 minus 20 divided by 20, that will give you the percent change in the quantity demanded. And again, do the same thing for the price and figure out you can figure out this numbers too. It's not that hard. You get as many times as you want to try it. So have fun. Again, this kind of question looks at, again, how elasticity is used in public policy, right? Should we raise beer tax to try and stop highway deaths? Is it better for society to charge more for beer, that cost of that resource, if it's a resource, it is for some people. Is it better to raise the price of that and then, again, cut down on the number of highway deaths and accidents and health-related injuries? So you look at elasticity to see how effective it will be for the raise the beer prices. So again, this isn't that hard. I think you can just read the scenario here. And again, you can follow along. It actually gives you the answer right here in this one. So just read the thing, have a little reading comprehension. You can always print it out if you want. But you can figure that one on your own. Same thing here with cigarette prices. Here, actually, you got to do a little algebra on this one. Well, it does the algebra for you, in a sense, because they know the price elasticity of cigarettes here is 1.3, right? So it's elastic. So if the price of cigarettes increases by 20%, the quantity of cigarettes will decrease by what? And again, if you read the scenario, figure out how they do it. Look at this formula here. If you get it incorrectly, you can do it again. But basically, you got to plug this new, 20%, because it's the same 1.3, down this formula and come up with the answer. So I don't think it's that hard. But again, you get an unlimited number of times. There's no reason not to get these correct. Number 6, the Atlantic Coffee decided to raise their prices by 10%. They were shocked at the customer's reaction when sales dropped by 24%. It's an elastic demand, right? So, and again, if you check with the textbook or the PowerPoint that I went over the other day, you can easily see the answer for this one. Hopefully. Let's see, a commodity like gasoline has greater elasticity in the long run. Again, the short run is not that elastic because, you know, I'm still going to have my same driving techniques, my same driving habits, next week as I do this week if the price increases by a lot. But in the long run, I could, again, go to a cheaper car, car that has better gas mileage, as I used to own a hybrid, which made no economic sense, but we'll talk about that later, or I could, again, cut back on my driving, carpool. So again, the longer the consumers have time to digest the price increases, the more substitutes they can come up with, right? Very straightforward on that one, I think. But some of these other ones can confuse you, I know. Let me check, make sure I got it right. Oh, I'm so good. Let's see, 8. If demand is elastic, an increase in price will do what to total revenue? This is what page? This is in the textbook. If I look at my textbook, that's page 88. Understand how that works. Moving on. You can do this one. A graph. I love my graphs. So the revenue effects of a bumper crop, right? And this happens all the time. It's a good growing season, right? So there's a bumper corn crop. I don't know if this year is or not. So if there's more of something, again, who's it going to affect first? The people who grow the stuff or the people who consume the stuff, right? So if they're growing more, it's going to affect the people that are growing the thing, the farmers, right? So that's going to affect supply. So supply is going to shift, right? So you can figure it out. Which way is it going to go? Left or right? So give it a shot. It's not that hard. Suppose demand is inelastic and the price increases. Again, total. This again, page, what did I just say? 88. Fine. So again, I think the quiz is basically the same thing. There might be a tricky question in the quiz, just make fun. But again, when you do the quiz, print it out. Ask me questions if you want on Tuesday. We have class on Tuesday, right? So I will see you there. Email me if you have any questions.